Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we are going to learn about the signs of trigonometric functions. Okay, in the previous lectures, we learned about the standard position of an angle and the definition of sine theta and cosine theta and all the trigonometric functions. Now we are going to learn about their signs. Okay, the signs of the trigonometric functions depend upon the quadrant in which the angle lie. Okay, in the first quadrant, whether it lies in the first quadrant, the second, third, or fourth. These are the quadrants. This is the first quadrant, the second, the third, and the fourth, as we already know. Now, if theta is in the first quadrant, then you know that the point which we take, placing theta in the standard position, it will be of this form. Okay, so let theta be any angle which is in the first quadrant. If your angle is in the first quadrant, now how do we define sine? We will define sine according to a definition of sine. We will take first we will take the point pxy. Let r be the distance. We know that r is always positive, so it means that it will not affect, its value will not affect the sign of the trigonometric function. Now, as we did earlier, we know that sine theta is equal to y over r. Now, if theta is in the first quadrant, then we know that in the first quadrant, both the x coordinate and the y coordinate of all the points that lie in the first quadrant are positive. Okay, you remember that if a point lies in the first quadrant, then its x coordinate and y coordinate both are positive. If it lies in the second quadrant, its f coordinate is always negative and the y coordinate will be positive. If it lies in the third quadrant, then its x coordinate will be negative and its y coordinate will also be negative. And if it lies in the fourth quadrant, the x coordinate will be positive while the y coordinate will again be negative. So we know this from the definition of the Cartesian coordinate system we did in class 10, that if a point lies in the first quadrant, both the coordinates are positive. If it lies in the second, x will be negative, y positive. Here x negative, y negative, and x positive and y negative. This will help us in finding out whether the sine and cosines of the angles which are in the first quadrant, whether they are the sign will be negative or positive. Now, sine theta is equal to y over r. Now, if theta is in the first quadrant, it means the y coordinate of this point will be positive. As it is going to be positive, it means that sine the y will be positive. Okay, and r, we know that that is always positive because it is the distance between the origin and this point, and the distance is always are always taken as positive. We can't take distance negative, they are never negative. Okay, so it means r, which is always positive, and y is positive, so theta will have a sign which will be plus plus. Positive number divided by positive number always gives us a positive number. So it means that sine theta is going to be positive if theta is in the first quadrant. Okay, note it down, sine theta will be greater than 0. Now, what about cos theta? Cos theta is x over r. We know that x, if the angle is in the first quadrant, then obviously this point will be the point which we take on the terminal axis will be will have a positive x coordinate. Okay, and now if x is positive as well as y is positive, then x over r, x will be positive, r is already positive, it can never be negative, so positive positive again, cos theta is also going to be greater than 0. Okay, now coming to tangent theta. Tan theta is sine theta over cos theta. We can easily deduce it from this, that sine theta, if theta is in the first quadrant, we know that sine theta is positive and cos theta is always positive, so again tangent theta will be positive. Now, we know that cosecant theta is the reciprocal of sine theta, and taking reciprocal does not change the sign of the number. So if sine theta is positive, then obviously cosecant theta will also be positive. Okay, so cosecant theta is greater than 0, tangent theta is greater than 0. Similarly, secant theta, which is the reciprocal of cos theta, will also be greater than 0 because its sign depends upon cos theta, and cos theta is, as we have already learned, is positive in the first quadrant. So secant theta will also be positive. So if you may see that, and same is the case for cotangent theta. Cotangent theta is the reciprocal of tangent theta. As tangent theta is greater than 0, so cotangent theta will also be greater than 0. So we can write that for simplicity is that in the first quadrant all the 6 trigonometric ratios are positive. Okay, so if theta is in the first quadrant, then all the 3 trigonometric ratios will be positive. Now if we know the signs of sine theta and cos theta only, we can determine the signs of all the other trigonometric ratios. Okay, so discussing the sign of sine theta and cos theta will be more than enough. Now, so till now what we have learned that, so it means if theta lies in the first quadrant, then all trigonometric ratios are positive. Okay, let me note it down here. So if theta lies in the first quadrant, all are positive. Sine theta, cos theta, tangent theta, secant, cosecant, and cotangent, all of them are positive. Now the next thing is if theta lies in the second quadrant. Okay, if it lies in the second quadrant, it means the terminal ray will lie in the second quadrant. Okay, if the terminal ray of angle theta is in the second quadrant, means if it is greater than 90 and less than 180. Now if such is the case, then taking point on the terminal ray, okay, we know that in the second quadrant the x coordinate of the point P will be negative and y will be positive. Okay, x will be negative and y will be x will be negative less than 0 and y will be positive. So in this case sine theta will be positive because y is positive and r is always positive, we know. Therefore it means that both these quantities are again positive, which will make sine theta positive. So in the second quadrant sine theta will be greater than 0. If sine theta is positive, then obviously cosecant theta, which is the reciprocal of sine theta, will also be positive. Okay, because positive over positive again will give us a positive sign. So sine theta and cosecant theta, they always have the same sign. Okay, similarly cos theta and secant theta, they will always have the same sign. Tangent and cotangent, both will have the same sign. Okay, so discussing the signs of sine theta, cos theta, tangent, tan theta will be enough, because cosecant takes the same sign as sine theta. If sine theta is positive, it means cosecant is also positive. And now cos theta, we know that cos theta is x over r. Now is this quadrant x is negative, x is less than 0 and y is greater than 0. If x is negative, it means here will be a negative number and it will be divided by some positive number. We know that when we do division, negative over positive, the answer is always negative, because minus plus is minus. So it means cos theta will be less than 0 in this quadrant. Similarly secant theta will also be less than 0, because it depends upon cos theta. If cos theta is negative, then secant theta will also be negative. Now coming to tangent theta, we know that tangent theta is sine theta over cos theta. Now we know that in this quadrant sine theta is positive and cos theta is negative. So plus minus minus, again the answer will be a negative number. So it means that tangent theta will be less than 0. And if tangent theta is less than 0, then cotangent theta will also be less than 0. If cos theta is less than 0, then secant theta will also be less than 0. Okay, and if sine theta is greater than 0, then cosecant will be greater than 0. So if you carefully see it, all the ratios are negative except sine theta and cos theta, and cosecant theta except sine theta and cosecant theta. These are the two ratios which are positive in the second quadrant. It means that except sine theta and cosecant theta, all these are negative. So it will be enough to remember that sine theta is greater than 0 in this quadrant, and as cosecant theta depend upon sine, so cosecant will also be greater than 0. You don't have to memorize the signs of cosecant and secant because they are the reciprocals of sine and cosines, and they always carry the same signs as sine theta and cosine theta. So in this quadrant only sine will be positive, okay, and cos theta will be negative, tangent theta will also be negative. Okay, so as sine theta is greater than 0, then cosecant will be greater than 0, and cos theta will be less than 0, therefore secant is also less than 0. Tangent, cotangent, cos, secant, they are all negative, and sine theta and cosecant theta are all only positive. So only sine theta is positive. This can tell you the signs of all others are negative except sine theta. Okay, now coming to the third quadrant, if the angle is in the third quadrant, it means if the terminal ray lies in the third quadrant. If the terminal ray of theta lies in the third quadrant, okay, it will be an angle of this form. Okay, it starts from here and if it covers all the way, and its terminal ray will be in the third quadrant. Then in the third quadrant, if we take the point to define sine and cos theta, the point will be in the third quadrant, and in third quadrant we know that both x and y are negative. So sine theta will be y over r, as y is negative and r is always positive, so it means that sine theta will be negative. Okay, sine theta will be less than 0, it means cosecant will also be less than 0. Okay, coming to cos theta is x over r, x is negative here. Okay, x and y both are negative in this third quadrant, so negative over positive, again we will have negative cos theta. Okay, cos theta will also be less than 0, it means secant theta will also be less than 0. They both carry the same sign. Okay, so it will be enough to remember these because cosecant and sine, secant and cosine, they both have the same sign. Similarly, these two always have the same sign, so you don't need to remember the co-ratios. Okay, because they have the same signs and the normal trigonometric ratio. Now coming to tangent theta, we know that tangent is sine theta over cos theta, or you can also discuss it as tangent is as y over x. Okay, just to determine the sign you can go both ways. Sine theta is negative, okay, and cos theta is also negative. We know that negative over negative it makes a positive answer, so it means tan theta will be positive in the third quadrant. Tangent theta is greater than 0 and cotangent will also be greater than 0 because it is a co-ratio of tangent. So it means that all others are negative except tangent, so it means that tan theta is greater than 0 and all others are negative in the third quadrant. Okay, so it's easy to remember, only tangent will be greater than 0 and the remaining trigonometric ratios will be less than 0. Now similarly we can find out for the fourth quadrant, if angle lies in the fourth quadrant, its terminal ray will be in the fourth quadrant, this will be the whole angle. Okay, this is how we draw the angle will start from here, go all the way to the position of this ray. Okay, this is the angle in the fourth quadrant. Here again we are going to take the point pxy. We know that in the fourth quadrant x is positive and y is negative, so it means that sine theta, which is y over r, y is negative in this quadrant. Okay, so it means we will have negative over positive, the answer will be negative. And cos theta is x over r. Okay, x is positive in the fourth quadrant, so we will have a positive number here. R is always positive, it can't be a negative number, so cos theta will be positive. Now coming to tangent theta, it is again going to be a negative one because sine theta is negative in this quadrant and cos theta is positive, so negative positive will make a negative sign. So it means that sine theta is negative, tangent theta is negative in this fourth quadrant, only cos is positive, so it means that cos theta is greater than 0 in this quadrant and all other ratios are negative. So you just have to remember this chart. Okay, in the first quadrant all trigonometric ratios are positive, whether it is sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent and all. Okay, in the second quadrant only sine is positive and all others are negative. In the third quadrant only tangent is positive and all others are negative. In the fourth quadrant only cos is positive. Now let's start the exercise. I will do a few questions for you which will make you understand all the remaining question as well. Okay, I will do question number 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we are going to do these questions. It will be enough to make you understand the whole exercise. The other questions are easy and are covered in these questions. So question number 5 is that if cot theta is given to be 15 by 8. Okay, cot theta is 15 by 8 and the terminal arm of the angle is not in the first quadrant. Okay, the question is that if cot theta is 15 by 8, okay, and the terminal arm of the angle is not in the first quadrant, it means that the angle which we are talking about, its terminal arm does not lie in the first quadrant. Find the values of cos theta and cosecant theta. We have to find cos of this angle and cosecant theta of this angle. Okay, so cot is given to us and we want to find cosecant and cos theta. Now they are saying that the terminal arm of the angle is not in the first quadrant. Okay, not in the first quadrant. This angle is not in the first quadrant, so the only choices that we are left with is that it is not in this quadrant. Let us see whether it is in the second quadrant or not. Now if the angle was in the second quadrant, then cot theta would have been negative, but it is given that cot theta is positive. Okay, so it can't be in the second quadrant, because in second quadrant only sine theta is positive and all the other trigonometric ratios are negative. If theta was in the second quadrant, cot theta would never be negative. So it means that theta does not lie in the second quadrant. Now coming to the third quadrant, we know that in third quadrant cotangent is positive, because tangent is positive and sine of cotangent depends upon the sine of tangent. So if cot theta is positive, it means that this angle may lie in the third quadrant. Okay, according to this. Now coming to the fourth quadrant, here also cot theta is never positive in the fourth quadrant, because in fourth quadrant only cos theta is positive and all the remaining trigonometric ratios are negative. So it means that it can't lie in the third quadrant. So the only choice is that this angle lies in the third quadrant. Okay, so this is how we determine the quadrant in which the angle lies. So now we can say that after discussing all this, it means that the angle lies in the third quadrant. Okay, because cot is positive in first and third quadrant only, and they have told us that the angle is not in the first quadrant. Okay, they have given us this information. Then the only choice which is left with us is that the angle is in the third quadrant. Now cot theta is 15 by 8. Now we have to find cos theta and cosecant theta. We are going to make use of the identities. Okay, we know that 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosecant square theta. This is the identity that we have already learned. Now from here we can find the value of cosecant theta. Now putting the value of cot theta in it, we will have 1 plus 15 by 8 whole square is equal to cosecant square theta. Okay, it means that cosecant square theta will be plus minus 1 plus 15 by 8 whole square. Now making use of the calculator, this will be equal to 1 plus 15 by 8 square is equal to plus minus 289 by 64, and taking the root of this we will get 17 by plus minus 17 by 8. Now as theta is in the third quadrant, okay, so we can't take the negative value, we can't take the positive value, sorry, because cosecant and sine are negative in the third quadrant. Therefore we will take the negative value and we will drop the positive value. Okay, cosecant theta, it must be cosecant theta. Cosecant theta is equal to plus minus this, so it means that cosecant theta will be negative 17 by 8 because the angle is in the third quadrant, and we know that in the third quadrant only tangent and cotangent are positive and the remaining trigonometric ratios are negative. Now coming to cos theta, how to determine cos theta? Now we know that cosecant theta is equal to this much. Now we know that sin theta is the reciprocal of cosecant theta, so it means that sin theta will be just the reciprocal of this value. If it is 17 by 8 cosecant, then sine is just the reciprocal of it. The numerator will become the denominator and the denominator will become the numerator. So it means sine theta will be this. With the help of sine theta we can easily find cos theta. Okay, cos square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta, and cos theta is equal to plus minus under root 1 minus sine square theta. But as theta lies in the third quadrant, therefore we will take the negative value of it. We know that theta lies in the third quadrant, and in the third quadrant all the trigonometric ratios are negative except tangent and cotangent. Cos theta is also negative in the third quadrant, so cos theta will be equal to negative 1 minus sine square theta. What is sine square? Negative 8 by 17 whole square. Okay, we will calculate it. This is going to be 17 square is equal to 289. Okay, it is going to be 1 minus 64 over 289, and 1 minus 64 by 289 will be minus 225 over 289, taking the square root of this will be equal to negative 15 by 17. So cos theta is equal to negative 15 by 17. Okay, this completes the question. Okay, in question number 6, it is given that cosecant theta is equal to m square over m square plus 1 over 2m, and m is greater than 0 and theta lies between 0 and pi by 2. 0 and pi by 2 means it is going to be in the first quadrant obviously. Find the values of the remaining trigonometric ratios. We have to find the remaining trigonometric ratios. Now we know that m is greater than 0. Therefore, this denominator 2 into a positive number is always a positive number. It means denominator will be positive. Okay, so cosecant theta, the denominator is positive. Now coming to the numerator, we know that m square is always positive because the square of a number can never be negative. Plus 1, though the sum of two positive numbers is always a positive number. It means that cosecant theta will be positive. Okay, also they have given us that theta lies in the first quadrant, so it means all the trigonometric ratios will be positive. So we are going to take the positive signs of all of them. Okay, cosecant is given to us. We want to find cotangent, sine, cosine and tangent. First of all, with the help of cosecant I am going to find cotangent, because cotangent 1 plus cotangent square theta we know is equal to cosecant square theta. This is the identity I am going to use that we have already learned. 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosecant square theta. Okay, it means 1 plus cot square theta will be equal to cosecant square theta is m square plus 1 over 2m whole square. Now solving this, it will be the square of the numerator and the square of the denominator will be 4m square. Okay, 2m square will be 4m square, and m square plus 1 whole square will be equal to, opening this with the help of the formula, this will be equal to m raised to a power 4 plus 2m square plus 1. Okay, a square plus 2ab plus b square. I have used that formula. Now 1 plus cot square theta is equal to this. It means that cot square theta will be equal to m raised to power 4 plus 2m square minus 1. Okay, shifting 1 to the right hand side, it will have a negative 1. Now taking the LCM of both the sides, okay, taking the LCM, we will get this, and 2m square minus 4m square will be minus 2m square plus 1. Okay, I have subtracted these two. This is plus 1 over 4m square. It means that cot square theta will be equal to this expression. Now we know that this is the formula of m square minus 1 whole square. Okay, if you open this using formula a minus b whole square, a square minus 2ab plus b square. So I can write this expression as this, and 4m square can be written as 2m whole square. Now taking square root of both the sides, cot theta will be equal to plus minus under root m square minus 1 whole square and 2m whole square. The squares will be cut off with the help of this radical sign, and I am going to ignore this negative sign also, because theta is in the first quadrant, and in the first quadrant all the trigonometric ratios are positive, including cot theta. So cot theta will be equal to positive m square minus 1 over 2m. Okay, so I have found cot theta. We were given the cosecant theta. Now with the help of this, I am going to find the remaining trigonometric ratios. We have found cot theta, okay, and we know that cot theta is equal to this. We know that tangent theta is the reciprocal of cot theta, so tan theta will be 2m over m square minus 1. Okay, so cot theta is known to us, tangent theta, cosecant theta, and we know that sin theta is the reciprocal of cosecant theta. Okay, sin theta is the reciprocal of cosecant theta. Cosecant theta is equal to this expression. So sin theta will be just the reciprocal of, it means that sin theta will be 2m over m square plus 1. Okay, so the only trigonometric ratios which are left are cos theta and secant theta. Now we know that cos theta is equal to plus minus under root 1 minus sin square theta. Putting the values of sin square, but as the angle is in the first quadrant, we will ignore this negative sign. Okay, we will take the positive only. This will be equal to 1 minus, putting the values of sin theta, 2m over m square plus 1 whole square. This is equal to 1 minus 4m square, and opening this a plus by using the formula a plus b whole square, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, this will be our a, and this will be a square plus b square plus 2ab. Okay, now taking the LCM, m raised to power 4 plus 2m square plus 1 minus 4m square over this m raised to power 4 plus 2m square plus 1. Now 2m square minus 4m square will be negative 2m square. So it will be equal to m raised to power 4 minus 2m square plus 1. Okay, over this can be written as m square plus 1 whole square, and this can be written as m square minus 1 whole square. Okay, by using formula a minus b whole square, you can get this value. So this can be written as m square over m square minus 1 whole square, and this can be written as m square plus 1 whole square. The squares will be cut off with this radical sign, and cos theta will be equal to m square minus 1 over m square plus 1. It means that secant theta will be equal to the reciprocal of this, and will be equal to m square plus 1 over m square minus 1, and this completes the question. Okay, now we know sin theta, cos theta, secant theta. Cosecant theta was already given, so we have calculated all the 6 trigonometric ratios, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so this is how we do it. Yes, that's all. There is also another method of solving this question. You could also do you could also find sine theta in the first place, okay, then you could find cos theta, and after, with the help of sine and cosine, you could find tangent theta. Okay, that's another method of doing this question. Okay, this completes the question, and in the next video we are going to do question number 7 and 8.